On September 30th, 1995, Albert Belle became the only player in Major League Baseball history to hit 50 homers, 50 doubles. Here you can see that play, and here are the highlights of the rest of the game from the WUAB broadcast of the Cleveland Indians versus the Kansas City Royals. Albert Belle. Unbelievable.
From Jacobs Field, welcome to Cleveland Indians baseball, where the drive for 100 is still alive as the Tribe hosts the Royals this afternoon here on Channel 43. Hi, everybody. Along with Mike Egan, Jack Corrigan, the Indians, of course, have been the division champs for a couple of weeks now, but there are still some things that are happening in this game and this weekend that make it for an interesting weekend.
Well, you know, Jack, you talked about the possibility of still winning 100 ball games. That would be a great milestone, especially in a shortened season. Kenny Lofton has an opportunity to win the stolen base crown for the fourth straight year, but maybe the biggest, Albert Belle still with an opportunity. He's probably got 8 chances today and tomorrow to hit number 50. He would be the first player in Major League history to have 50 home runs and 50 doubles, and that's quite an accomplishment in a short season.
And for the Indians offense this afternoon, they'll go up against a left-hander, Dave Fleming, who pitched all right against them in Kansas City and has given them some trouble in the past, but he's a guy who gives up a lot of hits.
He gives up hits, he gives up home runs if you are patient. The Indians got patient with him in Kansas City and knocked him out of the box. See if they do that this afternoon. If Albert Belle hits a home run today, let's see if it might be to right field.
We have got Mark Clark going for the Tribe, and we'll get it underway for you right after.
Back at Jacobs Field here in downtown Cleveland on another spectacular day here for baseball. It's more like a late August day than a late September day. Hardly a cloud in the sky, and it's going to be about 80 degrees at game time. And what a better way to... There's Mark Clark, who will pitch today, and celebrating or coming into town is Tonight Show celebrity Jay Leno. Showed a pretty good arm throwing out the first pitch to Jesse Levis, and getting a nice round of applause from the fans here today in to do a feature on the Indians. And I think Wednesday night they're talking about Jay Leno doing something with the Tribe and on his show. Let's take a look at Mike Hargrove's batting order this afternoon. The starting lineups brought to you by the Ohio Lottery. Leading off and playing center field for the Kansas City Royals, Johnny Damon. Tom Goodwin will be in center field, and batting second, Keith Lockhart at second base. Hitting third, Gary Gaetti at first base. Batting in the cleanup spot, Michael Tucker in left. Joe Vitiello is the DH. Joe Randa at third base. David Howard will be the shortstop, and Brett Main will bat ninth and do the catching. The Ohio Lottery wants you to know the jackpot for Saturday's Super Lotto game: $12 million. More ways to play, more ways to win. Indians take the field. They are 98-44, still with an opportunity to win 100 games. They would have to win today and tomorrow, and Albert Belle, taking his position out in left field, needs 1 home run for 50. Albert already with 52 doubles. He is tied for the league lead in doubles with Edgar Martinez of Seattle. His 49 home runs lead Mo Vaughn by 10, and he trails Vaughn by 1 in the RBI race. There's Mark Clark, 9-7 with a 5.38 earned run average, making his 21st start of the year, his 22nd appearance. 118 2/3 innings for Clarkie. He has struck out 67, walked 42, and allowed 12 home runs. Pitched pretty well last Sunday against the Royals. He's 2-1 against Kansas City this year, and faced Kevin Apier in his last start. He's faced some tough competition this year. Still has the winning record at 9-7. The Indians lead the Royals by a record 28 games. No team has ever won a division, a pennant, by more than, I believe it was 27.5, the previous record, and that was way back in 1902, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Defensively for the Indians in the outfield. Belle, Lofton, and Ramirez on the infield. Espinosa, Vizquel, Baerga, and Herbert Perry. Tony Pena does the catching today on the next to the last day of the regular season. The Indians continue to get ready for the playoffs.
Albert Belle right there. A Hoover clean sweep first inning for Mark Clark.
Another packed house here at Jacobs Field on the next to the last day of the regular season. And as Bob Boone told me before the ball game, well, I'm going home on Sunday and you guys continue. And I'd rather be in your place than in our place. But they've had a pretty good year considering all things considered. The youth movement. Take a look at the Indians batting order this afternoon. Lofton, Vizquel, and Baerga will go 1, 2, 3. Belle, Ramirez, Dave Winfield is the DH. Then Perry, Espinosa, and Pena are 7, 8, and 9 in Mike Hargrove's batting order. Dave Fleming, who is a soft tossing left-hander, doesn't throw very hard, gives you all kinds of different angles over the top, 3/4 and sidearm. He faced the Indians last weekend in Kansas City, picked up a no decision, began the year with the Seattle Mariners. Lifetime, he's done pretty well against the Tribe, 3-1. Got to be patient with this guy. Overall this year, Jack, he has walked 52 batters in 77 2/3 innings pitched and struck out just 38.
They'll be playing in the first round. Broken bat that went into the crowd. Everybody's all right, and it was handled by the shortstop. No score after 1.
A scoreless first inning here at Jacobs Field. Neither side able to put a base runner aboard.
Slaps it right to Herbert Perry. That will do it for the KC second. No score.
Well, the chant is starting here.
There's a good sign. How about that? That's Dave and Pat and Bob from Classic Video.
Albert Belle has made his way to the plate. Every at bat last night.
Look at that.
A standing O, and guy over in, where is he? In left field.
Yep.
Get it here.
We talked about the things that keep this final weekend interesting. No greater interest than right here in Albert's quest to try and get number 50 as Fleming stays wide. And remember what my partner said, that if Albert goes deep against Fleming, don't be surprised if it might not go the opposite way.
Albert, along with being a very good power hitter, is a very smart hitter. He will try to wait on the ball, I would think. Take a look. He's sizing him up right now.
Career-wise for Albert against Fleming, he has got a home run. 5 for 16. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, you could see what they're doing. I mean, they're showing Albert something inside and then working him away. And that's one of the reasons that speculated. Now, they may make a mistake middle of the plate in, and Albert will shoot it out to left. But what I'm saying is that I would think for the most part they'll keep the ball outside to Albert.
And there'll be an awful lot of booing like you're catching a smattering of it now if they end up walking Albert here. Look at the power in the 90s. Albert with the second best total in the last 6 years. And of course, he and Ken Griffey Jr. in shortened seasons, and that's ball 4. And listen to that reaction. But a jam shot by Fleming will get him out of the inning as Lockhart squeezes the pop-up.
Scoreless here after 2 at Jacobs Field. The final weekend of the 1995 regular season. And boy, it's nice to say there will be more.
Mike, well, we'll have to save that for the bottom of the inning. Damon is retired by Baerga. Another 1, 2, 3 inning for Mark Clark. Fleming. It ricochets to Lockhart. They can't make a play. Fleming is still down. You could hear that contact.
Oh.
Dave Fleming is up. I think he got it on the arm, Mike.
Whew.
It's a base hit. And let's hope nothing more than a bruise for Dave Fleming.
Looked like they're looking at his right wrist.
We'll give you real time first of how it
Or is it the left?
looks.
No, now it's the left. Okay,
Yeah.
now they got the left. Let's
just listen to this.
Boom. He got the glove up, and it looked like he was putting the hand up as well.
Well, I think it's that natural reaction to protect your head, and you throw both arms up to try and do that. And Dave Fleming is going to have to leave the ball game. Watch this again in slow motion.
The ball coming right back, and it was hooking, Jack. That's what it was doing, and you're right. He put that left arm up to protect the face and caught him right, looked like on the back of the hand or in the wrist area.
So the Royals will have to make a pitching change, and whoever they bring in will be given as much time as he needs to warm up. So since there's a stop in the action here, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more. Tony Peñon at first base with one out here in the third.
Base hit. Eddie Murray has reached 3,000.
That is as good as you will ever see. Strike three call. That's the ball game. And he drives it to left field. Forget about it. Way up into the bleachers.
Join Jack Marshall, Ramona Robinson, and Kid Shanley on the final day of this fantastic season, The Fantastic Drive, Sunday at 6:30 on Channel 43.
Well, the new pitcher is right-hander Melvin Bunch. Will take over for Dave Fleming. Fleming went 2 1/3, gave up 2 hits, struck out 2 and walked 1. Bunch making his 13th appearance. A 1-3 record with a 5.70 earned run average. He has struck out 18, walked 14, and allowed 38 base hits in 36 1/3 innings pitched. Saw him last weekend over in Kansas City. Looks like a fairly hard throwing right-hander, but his ball pretty straight.
While Bunch warms up, maybe we can plow our way through some of this mail that we have. Joanna Albright wrote to us asking to wish a speedy recovery to her aunt, Helen Farmer. She's a longtime Tribe fan who is in Akron General Hospital right now. So Helen, get well soon and get ready for the postseason. Got a nice note from Dan McDonald, who wrote to us and talked about the fantastic finishes. He was talking about a game in which the Indians back in '48 went into the 14th inning, and back then they have the band that was at the ballpark and be playing, and so they played the Take Me Out to the Ball Game again for the second 7th inning stretch, and Jimmy Dudley, who was broadcasting the game on the radio, said, you know, this is time to end this. So a guy by the name of Jim Hegan on the second pitch in the bottom of the 14th hit a home run just to do that. So
Jimmy Dudley didn't ask before, you know?
That's right. So Dan, thanks for the note. While we got a chance, we also want you to know that baseball's not the only thing that Tribe third baseman Jim Thome excels at. There's a lot more to Jimmy than meets the eye, and Ramona Robinson talks to Jim about his childhood, his family, and much more when our Tribe coverage continues with a special look at the Indians third baseman Jim Thome this Monday night on Channel 43's 10 o'clock news. Jimmy getting the day off. There's a "We Love You, Manny" sign up amongst the crowd. We have gotten lots of nice notes in Uncle's Bay from Massillon. with a nice note to us. We thank her. And well, Bunch continues to warm up. There's what Mike was talking about earlier. The Yankees scoring 3 times in the top of the first at Toronto. Got a Wahoo birthday request for Theodore, from Theodore Young, for his dad Ted Young, who is 65 a couple of days ago. Wanted us to say hi to him. There's more banners around and more mail that I have yet to get through, but we got a few of them done there. If we hear anything else on Dave Fleming, we will let you know on that. Fleming leaving the ball game after taking the hit off the bat of Tony Pena on the left wrist. So Kenny will be the first man to face Melvin Bunch. Often called out on strikes his first time up. In the air, right field. Damon looks up into the sun. And that ends the third. No score. Back here at Jacobs Field, no score after 3 innings. Mark Clark has allowed just an opposite field base hit to Michael Tucker so far.
Tom Goodwin, the number 2 hitter, hit in the air again to right center field. This one, Lofton at the wall. Got it. Oh, 2 good catches by Kenny Lofton. And Clark out of it here in the 4th. We remain tied, 0-0.
Gary Gaetti is now 0 for his last 26, but he thought he was ending that skid with this shot. But few get a better jump on a ball in center field than Kenny Lofton. Timed his step to the wall perfectly to avoid the collision. And 2 good plays by Mr. Lofton in center field.
By Albert Belle, and like tied for 4th. This one skied in the air to right field. And that will do it for the Tribe. 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. 4 complete, still no score. A 1-strike count on Michael Tucker, the left fielder, up there for the 2nd time against Mark Clark. Singled. This one chopped, comebacker, easy play for Mark Clark. And the 5th is over for the Royals. Still no score from Jacobs Field.
It has been an Indian summer, one that we want to continue through, say, October 29th or so. As we are halfway through this one here on a beautiful day at Jacobs Field. Let's take a look at our game summary, brought to you by your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. Ask Sherwin-Williams, the neighborhood place for paint. Dave Fleming left the ball game. The Royals starter hit on the left forearm on a base hit by Tony Pena. They are taking precautionary x-rays. Tommy Goodwin had his stolen base string stopped by Tony Pena. Albert Belle, a walk and a strikeout so far here in his quest for number 50.
What's up after baseball? That's a good question.
Yep.
Dave Winfield to lead off against Melvin Bunch in the Indians' 5th inning. It will be Winfield. Tony hit chopped on the ground to short. Howard charging. That will retire Pena and retire the Indians in the 5th. No score.
No score through 5. Pitchers battle going on. Mark Clark's pitched very well. We want to send along congratulations wishes to Igor and Chrissy Klobas. Igor is normally our home plate low cameraman. Well, right about now, Igor and Chrissy have just gotten married, and most of the crew will be at the reception tonight. I don't know if we want to watch the ball game tomorrow on Sports Channel. It will be at 1 o'clock, but it'll be curious.
Left center field, but Albert will close it. The Royals come up with a pair. They lead it 2-0.
It's time for the Hoover Player Profile. Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Well, we thought it most appropriate that we salute the fans today on our Hoover Player Profile, because they were a big factor in the great year here at Jacobs Field. A new team attendance record, 55 sellouts on the season. Thank you, Indians fans, for your support here in '95 at Jacobs Field. And when we have been on the road bringing you games here on Channel 43. Don't forget that tomorrow we will celebrate the finale of the regular season with our tribute, the Fantastic Tribe. Jack Marshall, Ramona Robinson, Gibbs Shanley, and others, including Mr. Hegan and yours truly, will pay tribute to the Tribe and our fantastic fans tomorrow night, 6:30, right here on the home of the Tribe, Channel 43.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Albert Belle trying to hit number 50 sometime between now and tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to be now. There it goes. He's done it. Albert Belle, number 50.
Like we said, the most valuable player in the American League, because nobody in the history of this great game has done what this man has done in 1995. I don't care when the Indians clinched the division. Nobody has done this before. 50 home runs for Albert Belle and a curtain call. And more importantly, a 2-2 tie.
Boy, he wailed on that baseball, Jack. He's hit some long ones this year. But
look at that smile.
Not many, if any, longer than that one.
And the fans want him to do it again, so he gives them one more curtain call. And now Tim Cheetah says to Manny Ramirez, come on, we got to keep the game going.
I mean, the way that Albert Belle approaches this game, Jack, I mean, it may not have been a bad at bat, but I just think it was going to happen sometime. He was going to do it.
And he knew it right there. Had to wait and see for a moment that it wouldn't hook foul on him. Another Ameritech call home run.
Manny Ramirez flies to center, but well, the mystery is over. Albert has done it. Now the Tribe will try to win it here this afternoon. Now Albert Belle taking the field, and again a standing O for Albert. Just an amazing feat. No other baseball player in history has hit 50 home runs and 50 doubles in a season.
Albert Belle, my hero. I like that sign with the youngster sticking his head through. Chad Ojai will come on and pitch here in the Indians' 7th. Albert doing it off Melvin Bunch, wearing number 50.
Yeah.
So that was appropriate as well. Clark goes 6 innings, gives up 2 runs on the 4 hits, and didn't walk anybody, struck out a man, and gave up the home run to Goodwin. But the Indians come right back with 2 in the bottom of the 6th to tie it up, and so now Chad Ojai will try and keep the Royals. And got him. 2 strikeouts for Ojai. 2-2, 7th inning stretch down.
Well, 2-2 here at Jacobs Field in the 7th inning. Let's take a look at the scoreboard around the American League. Games in progress. Baltimore leading Detroit 7-0 in the 3rd inning. New York 4 and Toronto 1 in the 4th inning. The Yankees looking for a wild card. Boston shutting out Milwaukee 5-0 in the 3rd. Rest of the action under the lights. Seattle and California both playing later on. National League, the Braves 2, the Mets nothing in the 4th inning. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh 1-0 in the 2nd. And Houston, Chicago, both those teams still alive in the wild card. Houston leading 3-0 in the 1st. The big ones out west, LA, San Diego, and San Francisco and Colorado. Those all have playoff repercussions.
I'll tell you one other reason why Albert gets my vote over Mo Vaughn. I mean, he leads Vaughn in just about every category there.
Fastball about middle of the plate in, and David turned on it nicely, hit it in the hole between short and third.
Base hit number 3,110 for Dave Winfield. Breaking the action, 2-2 with the Tribe trying to rally here in the 7th. Before we do anything else, want to remind you, you are watching Cleveland Indians baseball on WUAB TV, Channel 43, the television home of the Tribe. Along with Mike Keegan, I'm Jack Corrigan. Glad you could join us for our final broadcast of the '95 season. One in which the Indians want to keep their hopes alive for 100 wins by winning number 99. And they'll face a new pitcher here in the 7th.
Jim Converse, who came over to the Royals in the deal that sent Vince Coleman to Seattle, is one of those prospects in the Mariner organization that just never seemed to blossom, and he's under a new situation over here, and the Royals hoping that he can come around.
That great risk in baseball when you go from prospect to suspect.
Yep.
Herbert Perry 1 for 2 on the afternoon, with Winfield on at first and nobody out.
Just wide enough apart.
Espinosa swings at the first pitch. Converse comes out of the bullpen and in 2 pitches ends the Tribe 7th.
Back here on a beautiful day for baseball in downtown Cleveland. Boy, what a beautiful setting this is as well, isn't it, Jack? As you look at the skyscrapers, the buildings in the background, it's going to be a great setting for playoff baseball coming up on Tuesday night, and lots of folks looking forward to that one. We've got one game tomorrow and a couple more innings here, and before we get to all the festivities, Eric Plunk, who is trying to work his way back from some arm problems, and Plunky's done a good job. He's made a couple of appearances and pitched well since his return. Get him ready for the playoffs and his role.
Number 18, Joe Randa.
Speaking of pitchers coming back from some problems, if you were here last night or saw or listened to the ball game when Paul Ossenmacher had to take himself out of the game, kind of a strange situation.
Collector's item.
Brent Main, first pitch is a ground out victim as Plunk does his job in the 8th. We're tied at 2.
Two-two tie here. The Indians coming to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they'll have a pinch hitter for Tony Pena. Wayne Kirby will step to the plate against righty Jim Converse. If you are just joining us, and well, as Kirby steps to the plate, Bob Boone is going to come to the mound, and they're going to go to the left-hander.
Now, Jim Converse needed only 2 pitches to get 3 outs coming out of the bullpen, so I think Grover said, we'll get Wayne up there, and if nothing else, we'll get a pitching change, too.
Pat. Back here, the left-hander Jason Jacome will come in. Bob Boone went to the bullpen as soon as Wayne Kirby, the left-handed hitter, was announced. Jacome 4-6 with a 5.42 earned run average in 14 games, all starts. So he's making his first relief appearance of the year. He struck out 39, walked 21 in 83 innings pitched, and he has allowed 15 home runs this year. So Wayne Kirby will remain in the ball game. It'll be lefty against lefty, with Lofton coming up next, then Omar Vizquel here in the Indians' 8th inning. All tied 2-2. And as we were saying, in case you missed it, Albert Belle has done it. Number 50 came in the 6th inning. off Melvin Bunch, who ironically enough wears number 50 on his uniform for Kansas City.
Round and hit Wayne Kirby. Wayne trying to disrupt the vision, gets hit by the ball, and he is out. 2-2 after 8. Two-two ball game, and they are going to bring you up to date on what happened. They will credit Carlos Baerga with a base hit. That's a judgment on the part of the official score, and then you have Kirby out on a fielder's choice and give the put out to the shortstop. We'll show you the play again.
I think that's up to the discretion of the official scorer as well, Jack. I don't think he has to credit the hitter with a base hit, but it's runner's interference. The put out goes to the shortstop, but the official scorer has credited Carlos with a base hit. And Jose Mesa, not a save situation. Mike Hargrove trying to get a little work for all of his bullpen people. Maybe hoping Jose can hold him here in the 9th inning, and the Indians can come back and win at the bottom of the inning with Albert leading off.
Well, Jose probably would have worked last night, and then the Indians blew the game open so wide in the 8th inning that he didn't get the chance to, and you don't want Jose to go too long without seeing some action. The last time Mesa pitched was earlier this week when he picked up save number 46 against Minnesota on Wednesday. Jesse Levis is into the ball game to catch after Kirby pinch hit for Pena, and Johnny Damon will lead. Got him. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 2-2.
Back here at Jacobs Field, the 9th inning has arrived. Albert Belle will come to the plate, and he will face Jeff Montgomery, the Royals ace reliever. 31 saves with a 2-2 record and a 3.36 earned run average.
And another standing O for Albert Belle as he was announced to the crowd. The leadoff here in the bottom of the 9th of a 2-2 ball game. You have to love that sign. You can see in the right-hand corner, Jeff, you owe me lunch. Bell hit number 50. Got him. We go to the extra innings, tied at 2.
Well, it'll be extra innings here at Jacobs Field this afternoon. Show you the defensive changes for the Indians. Jim Thome will stay in the ball game and play third base. Paul Sereno remains on at first, and Alan Embry has come in to replace Jose Mesa. Embry is 2-2 with a 5.32 earned run average. 23rd game for Allen. He has struck out 23, walked 16, and 23 2/3 innings pitched. He has had his control problems of late, but did come in and get out of the game last night. Extra inning games this year, the Indians are 12-0, and the Royals are 7-5. A pinch hitter to start the 10th inning. Juan Samuel will pitch for. Get on the ground. Thome. He will throw this one to Sereno and got the run at that time. We go to the bottom of the 10th. All tied 2-2.
Right through the screen back behind home plate. But Kerry's okay. Our cameraman back there that zipped by on that second last pitch to David Howard. You're watching Indians baseball on WUAB TV, Channel 43, television home of the Tribe, along with Mike Egan, Jack Corrigan. Glad you could join us. Our final telecast of 1995. It's been a great year. And don't forget our special wrap-up on the season with Jack Marshall, Ramona Robinson, Gibb Shanley, and a bunch of us tomorrow night. Fantastic Tribe at 6:30 here on the home of the Indians, Channel 43.
Here's in third, one out. Carlos over the infield. Here comes Burnitz. Indians win 3-2. Their 12th extra inning victory of the year, 99th of the season for the Tribe, and still have a shot at 100.
Maybe about as soft an RBI base hit as Carlos has had in his career. It's his second run batted into the ball game, and RBI number 89, and another good finish here at Jacobs Field. Albert Belle the big day with his 50th, and here's one more look at the game-winning hit. It's what happens when you pull the infield in. Keith Lockhart, under normal circumstances, would have either caught this on the fly or on the first bounce, but you can't take that risk with the winning run at third base. The pinch runner, Jeremy Burnett, scores it, and the Indians win it. We'll be back to wrap it up from Jacobs Field after this.
Base hit. Eddie Murray has reached 3,000.
That is as good as you will ever see. Strike three call. That's the ball game. And he drives it to left field. Forget about it. Way up into the bleachers.
Join Jack Marshall, Ramona Robinson, and Kid Shanley on the final day of this fantastic season, The Fantastic Tribe. Sunday at 6:30 on Channel 43. Cleveland Indians Baseball, brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. We're winning Ohio over. Your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. Ask Sherwin-Williams, America's neighborhood place for paint. By Builder Square. For all your home improvement needs, we'll get you squared away. By Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. By Revco, a friend for life. By your Lincoln Mercury dealer. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi.
Well, another magical finish in this great year, this fantastic season for the Tribe. They win their 99th in 10 innings today, 3-2. Alan Embry the winner, Jeff Montgomery the loser. 13 turned out to be a lucky number because it was the 13th extra inning game for the Tribe and their 13th win in the overtime sessions. And partner, our 7th year together, pretty lucky in that regard too.
There have been some years where I just didn't even want to see your face after October 1st, but I wish we were going on here now because this has just been a great year from start to finish, Jack. You know, we'll talk about some of that on the show tomorrow night, some of the highlights and some of the things that we really felt were key to making this a successful year. But when you look down at the numbers that this ball club has put together individually, collectively, the bullpen, Jose Mesa, Oral Hershiser, Dennis Martinez, the list goes on and on. How about Jesse Levis on a day when Albert Belle hits his 50th home run and gets, you know, the 50-50 club? Jesse Levis, who it had to be a thrill for him. He ends up helping to win the ball game. So it really has been a team effort for this ball club all year, and there's no reason why it shouldn't continue in the playoffs.
Well, we certainly hope that will be the case. Mike and I will be very fortunate to be still covering the ball clubs for the 10 o'clock news here on Channel 43 and also the 6 and 11 o'clock news on our sister station, Channel 19. So we hope you'll stay with us right through the end of October, which would be a World Series championship, hopefully, for the Indians. Time to pick our nationwide insurance player of the game here this afternoon, and absolutely no doubt who that was going to be. An historic day for Albert Belle, the first player in the history of baseball to hit 50 home runs and 50 doubles. This number 50 in the 6th inning tied the ball game at 2. Albert Belle, our nationwide insurance player of the game. As I said, our final broadcast for the regular season, but don't forget Channel 43's fantastic tribute to our fantastic baseball team tomorrow night at 6:30 right here on the home of the Tribe, Channel 43. It has been a great year. The Indians win it 3-2 here in 10 innings this afternoon. We hope you'll be back with us for more baseball coverage throughout the postseason and into the seasons to come. For our producer, director, Pat Murray, and for all the people who are going to be shown here who have done such a remarkable job bringing you the pictures and sounds from this baseball season, we thank all of them, particularly our stage manager, Gary Coates. Thanks, Gary. For our producer-director Pat Murray, and my partner Mike Egan. Jack Corrigan saying so long for the 95 regular season from the home of the Drive, Channel 43. The Indians winning number 99 today by a final count of 3-2 in 10 innings. See you in the playoffs.
We've got a future, but these kids are really hot. We've got a big plan, headed to the top. We're on the warpath, it's spreading far and wide. We're